Hi, I'm Empty Pockets and welcome to Pockets World. After several failed attempts to upload the tutorial file for this build, I've thrown in the towel. That leaves me with two options: showcase what I've completed so far, or tear it all down and start from scratch. So, I'm doing both. Showcase first. Let's jump straight in. As you can see from this angle, it's quite a sizable build, so I was very hesitant to make the decision to start this over next week. However, I have noted a few improvements, so I can include those in the next attempt. So this is where it all started, here. This little farm here, the mud farm. I have done this build before. The link is up above and I'll leave a link after the video. Basically, you switch this on, stick your mud block there or your dirt block here, and it turns into mud. You dig it with a shovel, it falls into here and into here. I'll run through this again when I actually do the build. If you take a look at the previous video, you'll get an idea of what I'm looking at. I put a crafting table, a couple of barrels and a stonecutter up here. I've made this slightly different from the original video. It's got a nice little balcony out here. This piece is in keeping with that over there. It's all very cosy and cramped. Here, this lever, you hit that lever, put stuff in there and it won't go anywhere, like cobblestone, clay, blocks, things like that, and they'll hold. As soon as you turn that off, they'll go down a hopper line into the auto-smelter and cook up. This button controls the auto-smelter. If you've got more than 5 stacks of items to smelt, you can do it from here. You just switch that button and the auto-smelter and the hopper mine carts will whiz up and down. Fuel for the system, I believe, goes in here. Again, it's all linked underground. I'll cover that in the tutorial pieces I'll do later on. The next section, I think I'll cover the basement next. Come down here. This is one of the improvements I can make, is take that out and put a concrete maker there. In here, I've decorated the area. This is the auto smelter. It's 10 blocks long. It can be as long as you like. I might actually cut it down to 8 next time. This is where your items are collected. This is a hopper minecart I was on about. You can fill this up to 5 stacks and you just turn this on there. The button I showed you earlier does the same thing, apart from it's linked to the back of this block. And when you're finished, you can actually turn it off again. All items get fed into here as well as the fuel. These are not output barrels, although I might make them that. That way each furnace can have its own separate barrel. I'll put in these items just for decoration mainly. Down here we have another manual clay farm. I may well try and turn this into an auto or a semi-automatic clay farm, so all I've got to do is feed it mud and it'll come out as clay. This here is more storage, all sorts of blocks, and as you can see we've got ourselves some stonemasons, or some masons. Down here is where we have our dripstone. Of course you can break these and collect them up, put them in here like so, and you can turn these into blocks when you're ready. It pretty much does a lot of blocks. And of course with the clay you can put that through the furnaces, turn it into terracotta. If you have the dyes, then you can turn that into coloured terracotta and glazed terracotta. These up here, I'll put these here for a reason. They've got nothing in them at the moment, but a lot of people forget you can actually make these. The andesite, you can make the granite, and you can make the diorite or whatever it's called. This one requires 2 pieces of quartz and 2 cobblestone. This one requires a piece of diorite and a piece of quartz, and this one here, andesite, requires 2 cobblestone and 2 diorite. And that's how you get them. You can still craft them, even though they're abundant in the world. Here I'm going to put moss and vines, just so I can have the mossy variants of cobblestone and stone bricks. And this is just to showcase this. Something you can put whatever you like in here. Again, I've got a little bit more storage in these corners with lights. If I put a concrete generator in here, I know I've got one in the house, but if I put one in here just for concrete, that completes the set pretty much. Up here is a unique cobblestone generator. As you can see, it's stone, so if you break that with a normal pickaxe, it'll come out as cobblestone. I'm in creative, so it's going to do nothing. But if you... there we go. If you break it with a silk touch pickaxe, which I believe is this one here, it will make normal stone like it is now. However, the magic thing about this is if you hit that button there and then break this, as you can see, we've got 4 blocks of ice there, which then turns this into basalt. I did not come up with this idea at all. I don't know what's happening there. Shouldn't be doing that. Let's switch that off again. That's it. And of course you can cover that up. So yes, it's a cobblestone generator, a stone generator and basalt generator all in one. I did not come up with this concept of the basalt. I believe Abermans did. I will leave a link to the video when I build this in the tutorial series. I won't do it in this episode. And of course we've got a couple of furnaces behind here just in case you want to smelt small parts. A couple of chests. Over here you've got another clay farm. I'm going to keep this as a manual one. Only the downstairs one I might change into an auto or semi-automatic one. And that's the downstairs. Out here I've got various piles of whatever, mud bricks, some packed mud, some clay. Again here I've got the various stone types. And again here. The advantage of having the little stonemasons is if you only need a few blocks of said stone like this and you're running short, you can get it off of them. Hay bales for the pack mud. And so on. So yeah, it's all fairly organised. Up here I've got living quarters for 3 stonemasons. I've decorated it, putting shelves so you there the wares. The only thing they don't make is this, which is a lodestone. I'll put that in there for decorative purposes only, but these are the sort of stones they create. The good old masons. I've put their workbenches here, although they tend to go downstairs and use them ones down there. Couple of pots, a few decorations here and there. Up here I've got, if I'm caught, if you're caught out, you can come up here and spend the night. Made it a little bit cosy. Books, a few pictures, and in here some more storage. So as you can see, it actually produces pretty much all your stone needs. Simple as that. The only thing it cannot produce at the moment is concrete and the deep slate variants, but I don't think there's a recipe for those. On the outside, I've tried to sort of make sure the dirt outside is encroaching in on the courtyard a little bit, make it look a bit older, a bit worn out, and that goes all the way around here. Around the back I've got some vegetation, like so, make it a little bit more decorated. And up here done the same. I've got two chimneys, one for this one and obviously one for that one. Putting some leaves on the top, make it look a bit older than this build here. This one's a new one. So yes, I will be redesigning, well I'm hoping to keep the same pattern here, although I'd like to extend this out just a couple more blocks this way and redo that basement so I can fit in a little extra. I'll have to see, but I will be redoing this build so that you can all see how I do it starting next week. My apologies again for my inability to upload this build. Starting next week on Tuesday at 8 PM GMT, I'll be restarting the build with a few improvements. I'll be using the same format as my small house compact base series, completing the project in sections, starting of course with the basement. I may release any redstone contraptions I develop as their own standalone videos for easier reference, since those tend to be quite popular. If you've enjoyed the video, please smash that like button, it really helps the channel. Drop a comment, even if it's just an emoji, they're all appreciated. And consider subscribing because there's plenty more content on the way. I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care. Bye.